Hello, Bridge family. I am Gabby Ramirez. I hope you are all doing well and staying healthy at home. We miss you very much. We miss your faces, your smiles, your hugs. God knows I could definitely use one right now. So, Pastor Will had asked us to share a little bit about what God has been teaching us lately. And I'm not saying anything new. We know that these are very crazy and difficult times for most of us. So I will just share a little bit about what my family has been going through lately. Last weekend, Eddie got a call from his job and they told him that he needed to go in that following Monday, which is normally his day off, for a bid. He needed to bid for a work shift for the following days. And when he told me that, we kind of struggled a little bit. We didn't know if we wanted to ask for a work shift so we could get a paycheck, or we actually wanted to pray for him to stay home, safe, away from any contamination. So we started to pray right away and we asked God to make the decision for us. We wanted to trust him in that decision. So I told a few of you about it, and I also said, that I was at peace with whatever outcome would be, because I remembered Pastor Will saying a couple of Sundays ago that if we were worried, we could go back in time and remember a time when God showed up for us and delivered. And so we did. I knew that we had been there before and God had been with us through a difficult moment. So we left it and we knew God was going to make the right decision. So Monday comes in, he goes in for the bid, and he gets a work shift. So we figured God had answered our prayers and we were fine with it. And that night I had a talk with some mom friends and I told them that I was happy, I was at peace, and I knew God would take care of everything. So Tuesday comes in and Eddie goes into work, and around 10:30 in the morning he calls me and says they're sending me home. Not only that, they're sending me to the doctor because I had a fever and I have COVID-like symptoms. And do you think I was worried about getting a paycheck then? No way. I was freaking out and I started to pray, and Eddie goes to the doctor and thank God he was fine. He got checked and nothing to worry about. They sent him home, but as an abundance of precaution, he had to be locked in a room for a few days. So since last Tuesday, in addition to my work and being a mom, I have been a teacher, an entertainer, a chef, a cleaning lady, a basketball player, a dog walker, a snack vendor, you name it, that has been me. But what is more difficult about all of that and all the things that I'm doing is that I've been feeling so alone. I have not seen my husband other than in FaceTime. I have not had a hug from him. I have not sat with my husband to watch TV. We have not held hands at dinner time or bedtime with our son. We have not been able to go for a walk with Eddie. We only FaceTime with him or talk to him through the door. And that has been our situation until he goes back to the doctor and gets 100% clear. So that's where we are right now. And a few nights back, I was finishing the day. It was late at night and I was finishing the dishes and I felt really overwhelmed and I was about to break down and cry. And all of a sudden I feel this familiar touch in my shoulder. If you've known me, you know what that means. And immediately I heard this voice that said, "Don't cry. I made you strong. I made you strong." God was being present right there in that moment in my life. And that gave me so much peace. And I knew then that I can totally do this with him. We are going to go through this with God. And it made me think that before all this craziness, my day-to-day was always in a rush. I always had activities. My calendar was always full. I always had somewhere to go, something to do, all this stuff. COVID-19 came to prove that none of that stuff is important. All of it is shut down right now. Our priorities, my priorities, were backwards. We need to put God first. Our joy, our peace, our victories, all of those things are in God and God alone. He needs to be first in our life. In Psalm 20, David says, "May the Lord answer you. May he protect you. May he send you help. May he grant you support. May he give you the desire of your heart and make all of your plans succeed. May the Lord grant you all of your requests." And at the end, he also says, "May we shout for joy over your victory and lift up our banners in the name of our God." In 2 Chronicles 7:14-16, God says, "If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayers offered in this place. My eyes and my heart will always be there." With all of these, I want to leave you with one thing. Whatever it is that brings you down, whatever it is that's making you worried or depressed, stop right now and give it to God. Instead of being worried, praise Him and be joyful. God is the only one who wins our battles. And right now, He is putting a pause in our lives. A pause to enjoy, to trust Him, to rejoice in His presence, and a pause to remind us to go back to Him. In Matthew 6:34, Jesus says, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." My friends, we are strong, and our strength only comes from God. So keep praying, keep fasting, keep trusting the Lord with joy. We love you, we miss you, and we hope to see you very, very soon. God bless.